Hi, this is Brittany Madison, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? Okay, so for the very first time, we got to see Crawford and Canelo Alvarez meet face to face, and we seen that Crawford, he looked like he was a little bit taller than Canelo Alvarez, and that surprised a lot of fans. But then later on, Canelo and Crawford, they took another photo, and this time Canelo Alvarez, he looked like he was the exact same height as Terrence Crawford. Well, it turned out Canelo Alvarez, he was actually wearing some shoes that had a 2-inch lift on them to give the appearance that he was the same height as Terrence Crawford. So because of this, you now have some fans saying, well, this proves that Crawford is bigger than Canelo Alvarez, so I don't want to hear any excuses when Canelo beats Crawford. First off, let me just go ahead and make this very, very clear. Height has nothing to do with size. Being taller doesn't make you bigger, it just makes you taller. If you guys recall, Amir Khan, he was taller than Canelo Alvarez, but he was still way smaller than him. So is Jermell Charlo, which is the exact reason why Jermell, he fought Canelo like the smaller guy. Because if you try to make the logic that taller makes you bigger, then that means Rafael Espinoza, he shouldn't be fighting at 126. He shouldn't be allowed to fight at 126 because it's an unfair fight. He's much bigger than all of his opponents. If once again you're using that logic. This is the reason why boxing has weight classes and not height classes. Canelo Alvarez has always been short for his weight class, just like Mike Tyson has always been short for his weight class. And in the sport of boxing, whatever your height is, you turn that into an advantage. That is what Isaac Pitbull Cruz does, and that's what Canelo has done. He has learned to use his height as his advantage. There's a reason why there hasn't been too many fighters in the sport of boxing jump up 3 weight classes, or you could technically say 2, but really it's 3. But there's a reason why not too many fighters have been successful at doing something like that. Because you're putting yourself at a massive physical disadvantage. Naoya Inoue and Gervonta Tank Davis, they are the exact same height. And people have been talking about that fight as a fantasy match, right? Well, let's say they end up fighting against each other at 130. We all know that Gervonta will be a massive favorite to beat Inoue. Even if Naoya Inoue was an inch taller than Gervonta Tank Davis, we know that he would be a massive underdog, especially when you consider the fact that Naoya Inoue keeps getting knocked down by nobodies, C-class fighters, because he can't avoid the hook. So I rest my case. Nobody would be saying that Inoue, oh look, he's the same height as Gervonta, or oh look, he's taller than Gervonta. So I don't want to hear no excuses when Gervonta knocks him out. You wouldn't hear that. In fact, it would be the complete contrary. If that fight was made, the day of the announcement, all of the race fans would be making excuses for Naoya Inoue. Just like they made excuses for Canelo Alvarez when it was announced that he was fighting Floyd Mayweather. Like they made excuses for Manny Pacquiao when it was announced that he was fighting Floyd Mayweather. We know what time it is. Now, what I will say about Crawford and Canelo being around the same height, or maybe Crawford being a little bit taller, strategy-wise, it is going to make things a little bit easier for Crawford. I mean, it's better for him to move up 2 weight classes and fight someone who's his same height, as opposed to moving up 2 weight classes and fighting somebody like 3 or 4 inches taller than you. So because Crawford does have long arms, he has a great jab, that's going to definitely help him in the fight. But there's something that's going to help Canelo Alvarez in this fight as well, and that is his natural size and power. That is the only reason why this is a very competitive fight, and I can't say for sure 100% Crawford wins the fight. We know that if they were naturally the same size and the same weight class, Canelo would never even take this fight, because this would be considered a mismatch in Crawford's favor. I remember way back when Crawford was still fighting for Top Rank and he was trying to make the Manny Pacquiao fight, or I should say trying to get it. I remember Freddie Roach, he said something that was really interesting. He said at the time, he said he thinks that Bob Arum is going to try to make Pacquiao fight Terrence Crawford, but he was talking about how difficult that fight would be for Pacquiao, because he said Crawford is like a Floyd Mayweather with power. So if Crawford and Canelo Alvarez were both the exact same weight, this is the reason why Canelo would never fight him, because it would be worse than fighting against a David Benavidez. If you guys notice, with all the fights that Canelo Alvarez has, with all the power that he has, he seldomly fights an opponent that has the same type of power or more power than he does. When it comes to Crawford and Floyd Mayweather, the majority of the opponents they faced had the same type of power that they had, if not more, especially with Floyd. With Floyd, everyone had more power than him. Canelo has 67 pro fights, and you could count on one hand how many times he fought someone who has some real power like he does and some skill on top of it. With Terrence Crawford, it is going to be really interesting to see if he can carry some of his power up to 168 or at least get Canelo Alvarez's respect. When it comes to Conor Benn, he did move up from 147 to 160, and he definitely got Chris Eubank's respect, and he even managed to hurt Chris Eubank in that fight. So he brought some of his power up to 160. And honestly, if he had the technique and skill set, he would have knocked out Chris Eubank, but he didn't have that skill set. If Crawford can manage to bring the type of power that Conor Benn brought to 160 when he fought Chris Eubank, then Canelo is going to be in serious trouble. And I would not be surprised if Crawford manages to hurt Canelo Alvarez with a body shot, because Canelo, he exerts a lot of energy when he throws those hard punches. He doesn't really vary his punches. All of his punches are hard, which takes a lot of energy. So if you throw a hard shot like that, you keep missing and then get hit with a body shot, oh man, you could get dropped. And Crawford is a great body puncher. But once again, because of the weight jump, this is still a tricky fight to call, which is what truly makes this a 50-50 fight. With that being said, I'm going to wrap this video up. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.
Yo, Turkey, tell the fans what we doing next.
We want financials.
Tell them we going for Canelo next.
Yes. Let's go. Canelo, come on.
You heard it from him.
We are ready.
Hey. Just put me in the game, coach. Just put me in the game. Canelo Crawford, the biggest fight in boxing. What's up, y'all? I'm looking forward to being undisputed in September. Let's get it. It's work time.
All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, the fever blisters, diabetic ulcers, this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called LO Decay Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to lodecay.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram. Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com.